Alright, just a quick overview of the parts I'm going to use to build my awning support. We've just got a couple brackets that will mount to the awning arms. Got some giant washers. You'll see what we do with those in a bit. Some S-beaners, just some S-hooks. A couple of sundry nuts and bolts. And then angle adapters for a painter's pole. We're only going to use half of one of these. Just the bottom half, the female half, because those are going to connect to these painter's poles. So these poles telescope from 6 feet to 12 feet. So should cover about anything we need for our awning. So there's the parts, and then now we'll see what we're going to do with them. All right, next we're going to drill a hole in one of these giant washers. I'm just going to use the bottom of this A as my lineup spot. Start off with a 1/8 as just a pilot hole, and then we'll go a little bit bigger. All right, here's 3/16. And then in these holes that we just drilled is going to fit that S-beaner that we looked at a little bit earlier. So it's just going to go in there and hang like that. And then our pull down cord is going to go into the other end of this S-beaner. And then this washer is going to fit on top of our pole. A rope piece hanging off. This is going to be for our guide wire. And then this is our painter's pole piece that we had earlier. That's going to screw on to the painter's pole, just like that. So this is going to connect to our awning. This is going to come down for our guide wire to the ground. And that's the basic design, other than the bracket that I'm going to put on the awning. Alright, this bracket that we're going to use to attach to the awning, I bought some kind of hurricane strapping bracket. I'll have a part for it in the description. But it's got offset holes on each side, and the holes are offset opposite. So if we look through this top corner one, it does not match up with another one. So first, and that's the hole I'm going to use. So first I'm going to drill through the other side a smaller 1/8 inch hole, and then I'll use them both as a guide to drill a bigger, probably 1/4 inch hole. Okay, we added one more smaller hole. Now here's our 1/4 inch hole that we're going to need for our 1/4 inch bolt. What happened when you don't have a mountable vise? Okay, here we go. So our bracket. Got the 1/4 inch hole, so I just drilled put a 1/4 bolt all the way through. Got a nylon lock nut on this end so we can stay put without having to be tight. And then our painter's pole piece goes through that. All right, these clips have a little bit of an oily residue on them, so I wiped them down with some alcohol. And I had some of this in the garage, so it's black. I'm going to spray paint them black so they don't stick out so much when they're on the awning supports here, but all right, I've got the awning partially extended. Kind of see why here in just a second, maybe you will. But if we head on up the ladder, should be our only time we have to climb the ladder for this awning support. But I'm gone ahead and measured the brackets. I just stopped the top of the bracket 1 inch down from this bolt, and then a piece of tape so I could see, and then marked where I'm getting ready to drill 2 holes. If we go behind this thing, I don't know if we can see back here, but there is wires on this side. So be careful on this side. The other side doesn't have any wires. So we will drill that, try to make sure we don't hit some wires. All right, I drilled the holes. Started with an 1/8 and then up to a 3/16 for the final size. I was able to reach my hand back here and with these offset screws, pull the wire to one side and drill this one, push it back to this side and drill that one. So they're drilled. So now just mount the brackets. Tape off. Alrighty, started. And a screwdriver and we got here 11/32 socket. The nuts I got are nylon lock nuts, so they'll hold in position nicely. Got that one a little bit. Tighten up this other one. And that one's snug. All right, one down, one more to go. Okay, and finally for the mounting, I put it all together, but should be pretty simple. Just got the bolt, 1/4 inch bolt going through this painter's fitting that we talked about earlier. But then on either side of that bolt, I guess we can see I got just a little tiny snippet of some clear fuel line, some stuff I had hanging around the house. It's a 5/16 clear line, fits over the 1/4 inch bolt fairly easy, so that just provides some shims to either side of this, keeps it from moving around. And then I cranked it fairly tight, so this thing is not flapping around. It's going to stay pretty secure wherever you put it, so we can stay steady as we're heading down the road. So next install one more, and then we'll be ready to set it up. And there's what it looks like from the ground with the awning put away. Almost not even noticeable. But there it is. Pretty sweet. Okay, then we need some paracord for our tie down lines or guy wires or whatever you want to call them. Now, it doesn't have to be purple, but it always helps. Go Tigers. So that paracord, there's that washer we drilled earlier with the little S-beaners hooked into it. So the paracord I just got tied off there with a couple half hitches. So in life, if you can tie 2 half hitches, a square knot, a bowline, and a trucker's hitch, which I'm probably going to use on the stake end of this, then you can do most anything with those 4 knots. All right, here we are camping in Great Smoky Mountain National Park in Cades Cove, and here's the last part of my awning poles. You can see I've got my awning out. I'm kind of one of those awkward sites where the awning doesn't cover the table, and so we put up the canopy. And if you haven't seen my canopy tie down vid, check that out, because it's a pretty unique setup I've got there. But so we still need to strap this awning down so some of the storms don't come along and blow it off. So my poles, just show a little bit of how I store and carry those. Down here is my little DIY case for my Slinky that lots of people made videos on those. And so my bumper back here is now my storage for my poles. So put a little piece of pool noodle around them, just split the pool noodle down the middle so it kind of keeps it from rattling around too much as I go down the road. So first thing we want to do is get our washer that we made earlier and just slide that over the pole, and then you need to loosen this piece up here and make sure it's gonna go up and reach, and then we'll just bend our painter's pole piece down and stick that up and then screw it tight. Alright, and then that's screwed tight. Just get our cord unwrapped from around there. Alright, we've got our cord loose, and now we just need to tighten up our pole, twist that till it locks into place, and it's good and solid now. So now we can put some tension on our wire. Alright, if you look down here, if we camp, I don't like cords dangling all around the camp. If we're in Florida or someplace where the ground is soft, I got one of these dog, I guess, tie down stakes that drills into the sand and holds really well. But up here in the mountains, I think I'll just got a random rock. So we'll just set that on top there so we kind of keep it close to the pole. And then to tie it off, all right, I'll come up here and I'm just going to make a loop and then pull the bottom portion of the cord through the loop. So we make a knot with the loop, and then we're going to take the other end of our rope and pass that through. Alright, and then this is what most people call a trucker's hitch. But when you try to tie this, a knot there, it loosens up and you can never get it tight again. But the trick to the trucker's hitch is just pass this back through one more time through that loop, and then I can pull this taut and it doesn't even need a knot. So now that's taut, that pole is secure, the awning is secure, it's not going to blow away in the wind. And then when we want to undo it, it's also very simple. Just pass the line back through. We did it twice, so we're just going to put it back through twice, pull that back out, and then the magic knot, you just pull and it's gone. So that is the awning tie down. Save you $200 from buying the commercial version of that. Do it yourself cost me about 25 bucks. So happy camping.